Right now, MG is offering massive benefits of up to 85,000 rupees on the Windsor EV. An incentive that large for a single model is a massive market signal. It tells us that automakers are done testing the waters. A brutal, aggressive EV price war has officially started in India. To see how intense this fight has become, look at the pricing strategies illustrated here. Automakers are slashing baseline pricing, stacking steep discounts, and offering heavy exchange bonuses and financing offers, all at the same time to pull buyers away from internal combustion engines. You don't use tactics like that if you're only trying to appeal to a niche group of early tech adopters. These companies are now fighting tooth and nail for the mainstream mass market buyer. And it's not just MG driving this pressure. The entire landscape is getting crowded with legacy giants and EV-first competitors. Tata, Mahindra, Hyundai, and soon Maruti's new electric lineup. With so many heavyweights entering the ring, the core business strategy across the industry is changing. Manufacturers are officially prioritizing manufacturing scale and total volume over keeping their profit margins high on individual vehicles. For the consumer, this is great news. The cost of entry is dropping rapidly, and that newfound affordability is accelerating the overall adoption rate of EVs in cities across the entire country. But getting millions of new electric vehicles onto the road creates a completely different kind of problem. This sudden influx of cars is exposing a dangerous new vacuum. That brings us to the harsh reality of Phase 2. We are watching EV sales boom while charging infrastructure fails to keep up. This chart compares the rate of EV purchases against new charger installations. You can see how aggressively the sales curve is climbing away from the much flatter line of infrastructure expansion. The gap between these two lines is widening every month. For everyday drivers, that growing statistical gap translates into very real consequences. It means inconsistent highway coverage, severe range anxiety on longer trips, and physical bottlenecks at the stations that actually do work. And to make matters tighter, the market is currently shifting toward electric SUVs. These vehicles have much larger battery packs, meaning they require a significantly longer time plugged into the charger, further slowing down the turnover rate at public stations. Without a way to reliably power them, the cars lose their utility. This specific infrastructure bottleneck poses the single biggest threat to the continued momentum of the national EV boom. The government recognizes this threat, and authorities are now planning a massive intervention to specifically address the intercity travel bottleneck. They are mapping out a new charging network targeted directly at major highway corridors. The plan is to place high-capacity chargers at strategic, high-traffic locations we already use, like existing petrol pumps, roadside hotels, dabas, and motels. They're also planning a heavy digital integration. These new corridor chargers will be plugged into centralized digital maps, allowing drivers to reliably see active stations and plan out long-distance routes without guessing. From a macroeconomic perspective, a reliable highway charging grid is the necessary foundation for electrifying commercial logistics and large-scale fleet operations. Moving heavy goods and passengers without diesel requires this infrastructure to be in place first. If the government cannot establish a highly visible, robust highway network, both consumer and commercial EV growth will eventually hit a hard ceiling. When you look at automakers slashing prices to capture volume, alongside the government scrambling to build out highway corridors, the overall picture becomes clear. India has graduated from the era of initial EV adoption. We have now entered a much more complex phase, defined by infrastructure stress and ecosystem scaling. Success in this next chapter will require entirely different metrics. It will depend on whether the electrical grid is ready, whether the chargers are highly reliable, and whether rural and highway access matches urban density. Selling affordable cars is only the first hurdle. The real dominance in this ecosystem will belong to those who solve the much harder logistical problem of keeping millions of those vehicles powered. If you want real, no-hype insights into the electric vehicle industry every day, make sure to like this video and hit subscribe to EVs 24/7. We break down the complex news into clear takeaways so you can make informed decisions about the future of mobility. And we want to hear from you. Head down to the comments and let us know. Would you buy an EV today to take advantage of these new discounts?